We need a live, elastic, strong body. So please do not work on different parts of your legs in different days. Work on the whole body on everyday basis, because the arch of your foot is connected with our glutes. You need to be precise, and everything you need, precise work, 1-2 times per week. There is the concept of self-regulation, self-awareness, proprioception. And proprioception is the main goal of my 3D movement method. Hi there, welcome to my page. I'm Zarina Delmar, and this is my page, Way We Move, all about movement. And today I'd like to dive into one topic: why all girls and women go to the gym. Yes, for jacked and beautiful legs and for glutes. I see it all the time in the gym. Girls, what are you doing? Practically every day, lower body. You want to try to build up your toned legs, your rounded glutes, or you want to try to thin them, to make them as long and thin as possible. I will break down 5 big mistakes in leg workouts. Please watch till the end. Why you should listen to me? Do I have any credentials to talk about body movement and the best way of building up your toned and functional body? I'm Zarina Delmar. I'm the creator of 3D movement method. You may Google 3D movement method by Zarina Delmar and you're gonna find a lot of articles from magazines like Forbes, Elle, or a lot of articles, scientific papers. So if you're a scientific girl and you want to know the science behind any method, Google my name, Google my method, and you're going to learn a lot. I have more than 4 million audience around the world, in Russian-speaking world and in the English-speaking world. I have 2 silver buttons, and I'm growing my presence not only on social media but in the media overall. 5 basic mistakes. So I have my legs. I do not lift heavy. I have super healthy knees. I don't feel any pain or tension around my lower back. I do not work only separately on my lower body at all. How and why? Let's go. Let's jump into this topic. 5 big mistakes in training your legs and glutes. Let's go. Mistake number 1: training only legs and glutes. Every single day you are doing barbell squats, you are doing deadlifts, you are doing cable kicks every day. You think the more you do, the better you look. No, you need time for recovery. Everything you get is just swelling and exhaustion. Swelling, why it happens? Because you are overloading certain muscle groups. In case you don't feel what you really need to feel, everything you're doing is just overtraining this particular muscle group. You're not growing it. You are not toning it. You are just not giving enough time for recovery. But you don't need to do more. You need to do precise work on your glutes and your legs, and you need to have this 100% control of what is happening. So let me ask you to start doing hip hinge. And let me ask you, what is the dominant joint in hip hinge? Of course, hip joint. And what I see in the gym, you are grabbing really heavy weights like 40 kilos dumbbell. And I see girls who are not trying to understand, who are not trying to lengthen, who are just doing some stuff with super heavy dumbbells. You need to be precise. And everything you need, precise work, 1 2 times per week, but with the full engagement of all muscles that are now the leading muscles. And if you're doing a hip hinge, you start it with the dominant joint. The first joint, which starts the whole motion, is the main joint. The joint from which the whole body starts and through which the load will be distributed to the certain muscle groups. So we are not doing more, we are doing less, but precisely. Mistake number 2, believing that you can train your legs in pieces. So today I'm going to train my calves, then inner thighs, then my hamstrings, then my glutes. You're not a bodybuilder. That came from bodybuilders. And in case you have legs like Tom Platz, Google this name, you can think about isolation, about this fragmentation, but you are not a professional bodybuilder. You don't need big hamstrings or super big glutes or big quadriceps. You need functional legs. That means that you cannot train your lower body without the engagement of your upper body, because your glutes and your pelvis is connected with your beautiful spine and your inner core muscles. And again, coming back to the hip hinge, try to throw away any additional weight and try to start doing a hip hinge using your upper body. This is the clue, this is the key to beautiful legs. So I have my beautiful hands and arms, and I'm starting with my first joint, with my hips, and I'm touching my legs. I'm going down and I'm coming back, and I'm thinking about my first and main joint, about my hip joint. Nice. So the lateral lines of my thighs, the lateral lines of my shins. Now I will change the position of my hands, and I'm going through the inner thighs and inner shins. And try to feel how differently you start feeling your glutes in different positions of your torso and your hands and your arms. Now let's do the same motion, but both hands along the outer lines of my one leg and then the opposite one, but the motion is the same, hip hinge. Then let's do it crisscross and then change the position. Nice. And then the anterior part. Nice. So everything you need is to just precisely stay connected to the main joint, which is engaged. It's all about your glutes. But when we talk about legs, why cannot and should not we train like a separation of muscles? Because you don't have all time in the world. The bodybuilders, they have, but you don't. And it's better than in one session you're working on your upper and lower body, because you're not a professional athlete. And I'm gonna ask you to stand on one leg, to put the opposite one in diagonal position, and to go down, and to stand up, and to change the position. So this is how you're working on the whole body, and with your deep core muscles, you are becoming able to work on the glutes and thighs, and to protect your knees and lumbar spine. This is the way you're now protecting your knees and lumbar spine, because you're working in a way that integrate the whole body, not isolate. You should not think of your body as the pieces of different muscles. It is the whole body, it is the whole organization. And I believe that if you work within 3D movement method, you will realize it even in one session. Bodybuilding, isolation, segmentation is for bodybuilders. We are ordinary humans. We need a live, elastic, strong body. So please do not work on different parts of your legs in different days. Work on the whole body on everyday basis. Mistake number 3, my favorite one, worshiping the weights. Heavy lifting is the only way to build up muscles. That's true if we talk about bodybuilding, but that is not true if we talk about natural alive body. Your body can grow muscles with your own weight bearing movements. It is the truth. So, and it is the way you're working simultaneously in parallel with your strength, with your mobility, flexibility, and with the ability of the load to be distributed around the body. I'm gonna ask you, and this is the way you start protecting your joints, your knees, your lumbar spine, your ankles. I will ask you to do this simple motion. So you're standing mostly on one leg. The back one is just bearing 10% of your weight. And now you're gonna walk forward, backward, and moving your torso. So when you're walking forward, you're moving your torso to the front leg, and then when you're moving backwards, again to the front leg, which is front in this particular moment. Nice. Let's add more planes of motion. So you were walking forward, backward, and side to side. Please rotate your torso. So forward, backward, side, side. And this is how you start working on all the glute muscles, on the thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the position of the leg, which is walking forward, backward, side, and then close to the standing leg side. I already feel it. And in this context, you may start working. You see what's happening. We're compromising our knee. Our knee goes beyond our toes. And this is how you're creating more fluidity, more mobility around all of your joints. And this is a kind of cardio at the same time. And with worshiping the weights. Yes, I can deal with weight of my body. I can squat, I can push, I can pull, and I can do around 10 to 15 pull-ups. That means that my joints can bear the weight of my own body. And then I will ask you, if you're a gym girl, how many pull-ups you can do. At least 1 or 2. You don't develop your body in a functional way. You're developing it only in the way to grow your muscles. Your muscle mass means nothing if your body is absolutely disorganized and disconnected. Try this great routine. Just try it. I usually use the protocol every minute over minute. So I put my timer on, 1 minute movement, 1 minute movement, then the next minute movement, and I'm doing like 5 minutes. That's it. For your functional, healthy body, that's all you need. And with the weights, today I can squat with the weight of my body. Like I can put on my shoulders 55 kilos and I can squat in an ideal form. I can deadlift with around 45, 50 kilos, but I don't do it. I don't need it on an everyday basis. I can do it like once a week or once a month, but I still can do it. And if you're worshiping the weights, please tell me, what will be your final weight for your squat? 50 kilos, 100 kilos, 150 kilos? If you are the same age as I am, 40 years old, I suppose, and if you're a gym girl or a gym man, I suppose you would like to be active until 70 or 80. So from now, 10 years down the road, 30 years down the road, what will be the weight? What will be the weight progression? The weight progression is a dead end. You need to progress internally. You need to work on many, many beautiful qualities of your body, not only weights. Fourth mistake, you ignore mobility. Mobility plus elasticity. You cannot train your body, you cannot grow your muscles without hurting yourself if you do not work on the full range of motion in your joints. That is so important. Muscles means nothing. Tendons, ligaments, fascia, bones mean everything. I know that for many bodybuilders, it becomes impossible to keep arms straight as the prolongation of the lateral lines of the torso. And with this position of the arms and with the feet in parallel position, 11, go down and go up. Then put toes away, go down and go up. I can do this with like 20 kilos above my head. I am not a heavy lifter, but this is the difference between the heavy lifters and the bodybuilders. The heavy lifters are the most flexible guys in the world. They can jump very high, and while they're grabbing these heavy weights from the floor, they are doing this stuff. So they are grabbing it with the wave and then go down. They're super flexible. And professional athletes usually do work on mobility. They have performance coaches in their team, and performance coaches at least give them some mobility stuff, because without mobility, your tendons, ligaments, and tissues are becoming super fragile, absolutely dehydrated, and only the fascia, which is hydrated and elastic, can help to distribute the load through the entire body. Why it happens? Because the bodybuilding, the general fitness, the modern fitness has only one goal: build more muscles. They don't think about your health. They think the more muscles you have, the more healthy you are. They don't think about your everyday life. When I'm a mom and I'm driving my kids to school, and my 5-year-old boy is screaming at my 12-year-old girl, and I need to check what's happening there. And if I don't have enough mobility, enough range of motion in my vertebrae, I will compromise my lower back, and then I will be lying for a month trying to restore it. I will try to take painkillers, whatever. It does not happen with me because I move. Because I can move like a snake in all 3 planes of motion, and I'm doing this movement plus mobility on everyday basis. It's not about stretching. You guys think that everything you need is just stretching, but what I see with hypermobile girls and boys, you are hanging on your joints, you are too mobile. So there is the concept of self-regulation, self-awareness, proprioception. And proprioception is the main goal of my 3D movement method. So just think about the integration of everything, and about fluidity, and about the range of motion. Once you move your bone in the full range of motion, your muscles grow, even without super heavy weights. And the 5th mistake, the foundational one, your feet. You totally forgot about your feet, and you totally forgot about your toes, about your pinky toe, and about your big one. So I usually train without any shoes, even without socks. These are the points of great feedback. I need to feel the surface, because only in such a case my feet send signals to my brain, and back my brain sends signals of stability, of grounding into my feet, then ankles. You are losing it. You have already lost it. I am trying to do C squat. What is happening? It's not about my damaged knees. My knees are not damaged. It's about the mobility and strength of my toes, guys, and my ankles. And this is how I can do it. I can even jump here and I am not hurting my knees. There are a lot of other segments of my body that supports me in this sissy squat position, but the main segment is this one. So I need your toes to be strong and flexible, to bend and extend. I need you to be able to jump on the tip of your toes. I need you, when you're standing, to feel the padded areas of your foot, each one. So the front, the lateral, and I need you to feel your heels, because the arch of your foot is connected with our glutes. You don't need sneakers. You don't even need socks. I understand that in a regular gym, you cannot just use barefoot training, but at least you can grab your own mat and stand on your own mat. You know it's clean, and you can work using your foot in their natural form. We don't need socks, we don't need shoes. And once you start doing barefoot exercise, you will feel more comfort, more support, and more balance. I can move everywhere. Let's try to move. This is very simple drill. You're standing on one leg and you're trying to move your pelvis. You know how your pelvis is moving? So you're going anterior tilt, in posterior tilt, and then you're shifting it side to side. So you're standing, your pelvis is in neutral position, and you're doing posterior tilt. You're tucking in your tailbone, you're tucking out your tailbone, coming to the center, and then you're moving your pelvis one part up, one part down, and you're just doing this lateral tilts, and you're shifting it left to right, left to right. Put the timer, 2 minutes on one leg, 2 minutes on the opposite one. You will tell me thank you. You will feel your glutes, you will feel your core muscle. This is core muscles. This is very simple drill which you're not doing. Ankles are super hypermobile, usually in girls. That's why you're hurting yourself when you're falling down. I know it among my girlfriends. I have very aesthetic and thin ladies, and what do you have? You don't have enough stability in your ankles and your foot is weak. I have muscles here on the sole of my foot. I have muscles, and these muscles are helping you to keep you alive. So guys, I've come through 5 main mistakes. Believe me, once you start moving within my 3D movement method, you're gonna see result in 5 days. And it's not the way to convince you to buy my programs. It is just the way you can rethink the whole body structure, the whole living in your own body. So you're not a machine, you are an alive organism that needs very friendly movement environment. Try. If you wanna try any of my programs, you can use the links under this video. If you wanna leave a comment or ask me something, please ask me something. I will do video for you if I will find your question interesting. Or share your own results after trying my method. It is important because I'm doing my research, I'm publishing my scientific papers, and it is important for me to know the real feedback from the real people. Thank you. So stay with me, move with me, and try any of my programs.